Hi guys and welcome back to our Blackpool career mode. Now in the last episode we did manage to clinch promotion from League One to the Championship, which is absolutely amazing, but we all know what a difficult task this is going to be, especially because of how low we are financially. We have next to no finances at all, but last season we did have around 4 million to spend, so I expected maybe a little bit more with us just being promoted to the Championship. But to my surprise, I look over and look how much we've got. 1.73 million. So prior to this, at the back end of last season when the episode finished, I spent about an hour and a half of my time drawing up this huge shortlist of players, young English players who might not have had a massive amount of potential, but as you guys know, we have a very, very tiny squad, so I just wanted to get quantity over quality, so then at least we have a couple of players for each position. Well, that is now probably a bit of a waste of time because we don't have enough money to buy as many players as I would have liked. So we might have to go down the loan route and try and loan quite a few players. I'm not sure how many players you can loan in one season, but it looks like we might have to go down that route. And we'll probably get a little bit of money off the pre-season tournament, but I do simulate them. So how much we will get from a pre-season tournament, I'm not too sure. We'll have to see. And also off camera, I have promoted one of the youth players, and that is Martin. There is a CDM, but you can also play as a centre midfielder and a centre back. But looking at his stats, he's not the paciest. He's got not much strength. He's got decent stamina, but he can tackle. His marking and his tackling stats, his defensive stats are actually relatively decent for his age. And if we look there, he's highly defensive in terms of work rate, and he doesn't really attack much, so that's not too bad at all. So I could probably use him as an extra centre back if anything. Delfonso is about to leave the club, and this is how small our club is. Cullen is about to leave as well. We have no goalkeeper because obviously last season we had nowhere near enough funds to renew contracts. Our goalkeeper that we did have, he was 35 years of age anyway, so he was retiring. And the other goalkeeper we had, he was only on loan. So we're absolutely screwed, if I'm going to be completely honest, guys. We really are absolutely screwed. And I've also had a look at the other two youth players that we did bring through, Clark and Kelly. They're both very, very similar players, and it's quite annoying because it looks like they have pretty massive potential, but the stats are horrendous for the position that they're playing in. So, for example, Kelly now is a right midfielder and a right winger. He has a 5-star weak foot, which is fantastic. Skill move, at 3-star, which isn't too bad, not too important. He's not the fastest. He's pretty slow, decent stamina. He can dribble with the ball, but he can't do anything else. His passing stats are shocking. His shooting stats are shocking. So he can dribble with the ball and not do anything else. His attacking work rate high, medium defensive, which again isn't too bad. And with Clark, it doesn't get much better, but he has got 5-star skill moves, which is fantastic. He can play as a cam and a right midfielder, which is his natural position. But again, he's very good with his ball control, his dribbling. He can't pass the ball. He has half decent long shots, but has 50 shot power. So it's awful, really, guys. Absolutely awful. Both players, even if we did grow them and grow them and grow them, they're not going to get much faster. The passing won't go up too much because they're already so low. So I'm already considering almost selling them just for money. And I know I could quite easily train them up and then make a load more money off them later on. But these are the types of players that I probably wouldn't even use, even if they're rated 90, but they have nowhere near enough attributes in pace or in passing. I wouldn't use them because just dribbling alone isn't really good enough. So I might train them up and then sell them in January or something like that because we're in dire need of players now. We don't have a goalkeeper, like I said. We've currently got, I think, a central midfielder who we need to sell because he's from Ireland, who's in goal at the moment. So it's looking really, really bad. The players we do have, they're half decent. So let's just have a look at the squad hub to see exactly what we do need to strengthen in. Obviously, we need a goalkeeper. That'll be the first thing on the priority list. We have 4 centre-backs, who are decent enough, I think, for this league. Chalobah, he is injured for another 4 weeks. We have 2 not fantastic right-backs, but the right-backs nevertheless, so we don't need to strengthen there. We only have 1 left-back who is rated 56. That's really, really poor. We obviously have Martin, who we covered earlier, the youth player who we've just promoted. We have 2 or 3 right midfielders now with Lewis, who I do quite like. Again, he's not the paciest, but he's got more pace than both Kelly and Clark, and his dribbling is half decent as well. So he's going to be staying in the team anyway. The majority of these players have to stay in the team because otherwise we're not going to have enough players anyway. But it's just what to do with these players. I'm really not too sure. Ryan, we are going to be selling. His transfer listed. I think he's worth about 750k, so that could bring us a little bit more in as well. Central midfielders, we only have 3 of them, and we could use Martin in there as well, but I would like to try him out as a centre-back. Left midfield, we only have 1 in Colin Daniel, and we have 2 strikers because Delfonso and Cullen are leaving us, as I mentioned before. Vassell and Clayton, the partnership is still going to be there, but we don't have any other strikers to fall back on. So this is going to be a hell of a rebuild and a hell of a challenge, to be completely honest. I think I am going to have to just make a few loan signings, really. So that is what I'm going to do. I'll have a look at the shortlist that I have drawn up, and there's a huge amount of players here for almost every single position. But we're not going to be able to do too much in terms of permanent transfers. But yeah, there are a lot of players here. Again, none of them have massive potential, but they probably reach the late 70s, maybe early 80s. But we are just trying to fill this squad out right now. So what I'll probably do, I'll just probably advance forward and accept the invitation to the pre-season tournament and just go from there, really. First of all, we are going to be going for a goalkeeper, but we'll just quickly just see how much money we can potentially get from a pre-season tournament first. Okay, so we'll accept the invites, and there is one there. The Invitational Cup, 1.76 million we could potentially win, so we'll go for that. I probably should play them just to make sure that we do get that money, but I don't want to waste time in pre-season. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of the pre-season tournaments. And there's the confirmation that 2 of our strikers, Cullen and Delfonso, are leaving the club, leaving us absolutely bare now. If we have a look at the squad, we barely have enough players at all. I don't even know who this guy is. I think they've just generated him for the sake of it. He's from Bulgaria, so we're going to have to sell him. I think he might be a free agent who they've just chucked into the club because he wasn't there before. Now, when I'm thinking about it, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make any permanent transfers. I mean, I probably should bring in a goalkeeper permanently, but even if we buy, for example, Ramsdale now, which is going to take 1 million of our transfer budget and half of our wage budget as well, and then we wouldn't have enough to make some more loan signings. So I'm going to try and loan Ramsdale in. So that one has been sent out. We needed a left back. We've got De Silva here and Kelly as well. Kelly is actually really, really cheap. Yes, he's only rated 62, but he is 19 years of age. We do need players quite drastically. So I think I might even try and get him permanently. I'll try that, and if I can get him really, really cheap, then I will go for it. Okay, 450k they have accepted, and it did say he was worth 500k, so that's not too bad. I'll delegate the wage offer, so that has been sent off for Kelly. I've just sent out a loan offer as well for Tyler Walker. He can play on the right and as a striker as well, which would be very helpful indeed. So we'll advance forward just a little bit and just see where we can go from there. This isn't going according to plan, guys. I had my head set on what's going to go on today. I thought we're going to get about 5 or 6 million in the transfer budget and we're going to get about 5 or 6 players. But FIFA has done us over as usual. I don't really understand how they work out the transfer budget whatsoever, because I can remember when I did the rebuild in Sunderland career mode, we'd just gone up from the Championship to the Premier League. When we're in the Championship, we had about 14 million in the transfer budget. We went up to the Premier League and they give us about 6 or 7 million. It doesn't really make sense, FIFA, but anyway, we have to deal with it. Okay, so it has been accepted for the 2-year loan deal for Aaron Ramsdale, the goalkeeper. So we'll accept that one, and also the loan deal for Tyler Walker as well, the striker / right midfielder as well. We're still waiting on Lloyd Kelly's transfer to go through. So Lloyd Kelly has accepted his contract. It's a 1-year contract only, which I absolutely hate, but he's only on a 3.3k wage, which is decent. He's not the best of players. I understand that, guys. I know we didn't have bundles of potential. I know that as well, so you don't need to let me know in the comments. But he's a player. We need players. We only have one left back who's rated, what, 56 or something like that. So we do have our first player in this transfer window, and it is the left back, Lloyd Kelly. Still waiting on Walker and Ramsdale as well. And we have received a big offer for Konsa, 1.5 million from Blackburn, which I am going to reject. We can't afford to sell anyone at all, really, apart from the one player who isn't English, who we have to sell pretty much and we can't use anyway. And there is confirmation that Ramsdale has been loaned in. It's a 2-year loan deal, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to stick him straight in the team and get this centre mid out of there. And there is confirmation that Tyler Walker has been loaned in. The striker, who can also play on the right hand side as well, is a very decent player, I think, anyway, which could prove really important. 67 rated, so he will be our highest or joint highest rated striker in the club. Very, very good sprint speed indeed, and okayish finishing as well. So I think that could be really, really vital up top as well. Now here is another player who I've been very, very interested in. I'm quite surprised that Ipswich would loan him. It looks like they are willing to, and that's Tristan Needham as well. So I'll try and get him on a 2-year loan deal. He can play as a centre midfielder and as a left back, which would be very, very helpful indeed. We have simulated the first couple of games, by the way, of the pre-season tournament, in which we have lost both of them, and now we are going into this next one against Mansfield, which we're probably going to lose as well. We shouldn't really, although we do have a very bare squad. The players that are out there should be good enough to beat these teams, but we've drew 1-1, so it doesn't look like we're going to be getting too much money at all from the pre-season tournament. It's just going from bad to worse, and we got 352k from the pre-season tournament. Now Ipswich have accepted the 2-year loan deal for Tristan Needham, which is very, very good indeed. So now we just have to wait for him to personally accept the contract. So we'll just keep advancing from here. We're just taking it day by day at the minute. I feel like this squad is an absolute mess. I'm not really happy with it whatsoever, but there isn't a massive amount we can do with the funds that we have been given. And there is the confirmation that he has been loaned in, so that is very, very helpful. And there is Needham's stats. He's got decent aggression. I like a player with a bit of aggression. He's got half decent sprint speed as well. Good balance, stamina. Not fantastic strength, which I would have probably liked. But everything else is just relatively average. All round decent, which I don't mind at all. He is only a small lad, but he is a defensive-minded player as well. This is the kind of squad I might be looking at, 3 at the back, because we do have probably more defensive-minded players than any other position, and I could put right backs or left backs within that back 3 as well. But again, it's just going to be so much trial and error this season because of how short we are at the moment. I'm just waiting on someone to make an offer for Ryan as well, so we can get him off the books and then go for someone else as well. Now we have finally received a transfer offer for Jimmy Ryan, the Irishman, who we can't use anyway. They have offered 580k, which is a little bit below asking price, but he hasn't been playing. His form's bad. He's unhappy. His morale's really low. So I think 580k is probably fair. I might try and get a tiny bit more. I will negotiate that, and I'll be back in just a second. So they have settled for a 650k fee, which I think is pretty fair. Hopefully that does go through, so we do have room to make maybe a couple of more transfers. It might have to be permanent ones now, because I'm not too sure how many players we can loan, like I said before, but we'll have to see. And there is confirmation that Jimmy Ryan has been sold, but we have only been allocated 425k to our transfer budget. So let's have a look at how we're sat now. 1.2 million we have left. I would like to make some kind of permanent transfer. I know we did buy the left back as a permanent transfer, and I'm also questioning this formation now. I know it's been a bit of a mess this episode, but I'm sure you guys can understand how stressful this is. I might just go back straight to the 4-4-2, to be completely honest with you. Keep it as simple as possible, and it went perfectly well last season. We won the league with a 4-4-2 formation, so I'll probably just rejig this around a little bit, and that is probably the squad I would go with, the starting 11 anyway, for the beginning of the season. Now guys, let me know, what do you think I should do with these youth players? Martin I am going to keep because he is decent defensively. Clark and Kelly, like I say, they can dribble but they can't do anything else. Should I just keep them on the books, train them up and then sell them, or should I try and sell them now to get a little bit more money for this transfer window? But for right now, I am going to go back into the market and see if I can make anything else work. Now there is this player here, Tom Bayliss, who we can afford. It is another central midfielder. He can play as a CDM and as a right midfielder as well, but if I remember correctly, he does have a pretty high potential. I think around 82, 83, so I think I'm going to go for him. We just need to build this team, guys. Again, I know it's a bit of a mess, but it has to be done. It has to be done, guys. It's quantity over quality at the minute. Now, they did accept an offer for 580k, which is, I think, a bit of a bargain, really, considering his potential. He is only 19 years of age. I will delegate the contract talks. Currently only on 1.6k, so I think that should be pretty fair, and we'll see what comes of that. So, unfortunately, they come to an impasse. They couldn't agree on terms. And this is just another thing I really despise about FIFA, because the whole delegating process, it doesn't really make much sense. It says that they weren't willing to accept anything below 1.6k. The starting bid, which I delegated it to, was 1.6k, so I didn't offer anything below 1.6, and now negotiations are over. So that doesn't make sense, and it ruins a potential transfer there. So we'll have to go back into the market and see what we can do again. Now here is Kyle Edwards, a bit of a career mode favourite for me. I have used him for a lot of career modes, and it looks like he's going really cheap. He's only rated 63, but we don't have too many attacking central midfielders, so I'm going to go in for him now. He's only worth between 500k and 710k, so I'll see what I can do there. And we managed to settle on 520k, which I, again, think that's an absolute bargain. I don't think I'm going to delegate this one, because I don't want to keep wasting my time with FIFA and annoying me, so I'll negotiate this one and I'll get back to you in just a second. So we have managed to settle on a deal with Kyle Edwards, 10k a week he wanted, and it was a 3-year contract, so I don't know why it's saying 2 years there, but yeah, that's a very, very good signing if you ask me. It's an attacking midfielder, which we don't really have, so he would slot in there quite nicely next to Spearing or another defensive midfielder. So now we are starting to build a little bit by bit. We are getting there, guys. The team, the squad is filling out a little bit. It's quite annoying how that Mitrov is there, because we can't use him. He's from Bulgaria. I think they did just randomly generate him and stick him in our squad because we didn't have a goalkeeper at the time. Now, next up, I am going to try and go for Josh Maja, current Sunderland player. He is worth 1 million, which is about what we have, and he's only on about 1k a week, 1.9k a week. So it would be very tight, but if we could pull this off, I think this would be absolutely fantastic. I'll see what I can do. I'll start the bidding with about 850k and see what they say to that. He wants 900k. I think that could be alright. We'll try that and see if we can get anywhere in terms of wages. Hopefully we can. I'll just try and offer him about 3k or 4k if I can for his wages. He wants to be an important part of the team, which is very good. That'll do. He only wants a 1-year contract, which doesn't surprise me. I'll try 3. He wants a 1-year contract. Come on, accept 2, mate. Accept a 2-year contract. It's Blackpool, son. Come to Blackpool for 2 years. That'll do. We don't need a release clause. I'll disregard that. We'll go straight to his salary. He's currently on 1.9k a week. So I think if we just kind of max it out as to how much we can offer him. There we go. I'm pretty sure he should accept that. Will he accept it? He will indeed. So now we have nothing left. We have no money left, but we have brought in Josh Maja. So now we have 4 strikers ready to go for the season, which is what I want. I like to have 2 players for each position. So now we can replace Vassell and Walker with Clayton and Maja as well. So that is the transfer window at the moment. Pretty much done for us, and that is also where I'm going to leave the episode, because I'm about to have a heart attack. I am that stressed. So guys, in the comments, leave us what you think we should do next. We currently have £12 left in the transfer budget, so we can't do anything with that. Now again, what do you think we should do with those youth players? Should we sell them to make a bit more money and then maybe make a couple more permanent signings, because we already have, I think, 3 or 4 players on loan? So let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think? But here are the signings we have managed to pull off. Kelly, Edwards, Maja, Ramsdale, Walker and Needham as well. So if you have enjoyed the episode, guys, please hit that like button for me. It would be massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarni Army. The channel's Instagram account is in the description below, so be sure to follow that for early updates on upcoming content. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.